Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. After, what did we do last week? I've been doing so much, especially with 1985, I haven't been really keeping up with my own content here. I'm trying to remember what we did last. Oh, we did after our adventure in the German Night Fighter Ace and Night Fighter last week in Night Fighter Ace. I'm rambling now. We're stepping back into our playthrough of This War of Mine. Turns out this is not by Awaken Realms. This is actually by 11-Bit Studios. In this game, we're in control of civilians trapped in a war-torn world, trying to survive in a world ravaged by war. Now, I do want to apologize a little bit for a bit of a late start. I was hoping to be starting a little bit earlier than this, but between having a bit of a later breakfast in the morning today and wanting to get a pot of chili going, well, few things happened. So I wanted to get a breakfast. I had a bit of a later breakfast. I'm rambling a bit. I had a bit of a later breakfast. I had a pot of chili I wanted to start in the crock pot. And I needed to look up a ruling that's going to affect me almost immediately in this video. So I am a little bit late getting a start here. But we're here now. The ruling has been looked up. So now I think we're ready to jump in to this playthrough. So we'll start off with the morning phase. We have to draw a top card from the event deck. So that's coming up from here. We have a Chapter 2 card on top. So presumably, would we still draw another event, or do we start with Chapter 2? I think we'll start off with Chapter 2 and see what happens here. So here we'll find, you have just finished the first chapter of the campaign. Add the Night Raid and Residence cards that have not been used in the game with a red corner to their respective decks. Then resolve the top objective card, see the reward if you meet the condition or the penalty if you do not, and remove it from the game. We don't meet the penalty, so we raise all characters' misery by 2. Uh-oh. This might have been something that had to happen at the end of the video, so we don't meet the objective, which means we raise all characters' misery by 2. So that will mean both Marin and here we go. That'll mean both Marin and Emilia will go to their misery epilogues. So we will go to misery epilogues because we went up to 2 misery. We started off at 2 misery for both of them, and we now have misery epilogues. So we'll go to those entries in the Book of Scripts. So entry 458 is up first. Find a character whose state has reached level 4. That's Marin, so we see entry 1280. 1280. Having lost everything and overcome by grief and remorse, Marin committed suicide. Ooh, that's depressing. His shallow grave, a dark scar in the ground, marks another victim of the war. Remove this character from the game. Yikes, that's moderately brutal. So Marin's out of the game now. We'll go to the waste bag with that. And then for 208, that will be Emilia. So see 1522. Here we go. Broken by the horrors of war, Emilia slit her wrists. As the blood flowed from her veins, she thought about her murdered sister and father. She would see them again soon. Remove this character from the game. Ouch. Well, clearly this game was not built to be a winner of a game. Well, it was not built to be a very pleasant game, but I kind of like that, actually. So I do kind of like that narrative aspect and I talked about this after I completed last year's War Room 10 game challenge, when I cast a special spotlight on this War of Mine, where it's good to give you that perspective on the civilians who are trapped in a world ravaged by war, essentially. So it's really good for that. It's really good for that perspective where, like I mentioned, we really tend to romanticize the characters. We tend to romanticize in war. We tend to romanticize the pilots, the ship captains, the sub skippers, whatever. But we don't focus on the civilians in the middle of that world. So now Merrin is out. I'm going to make some notes here. So we've definitely got problems here. So Merrin and Amelia out. Okay, that's not good at all. So that was the end of chapter card. After we resolve this card, so we may save the game now or start the second chapter immediately by drawing the top card of the event card, by drawing the top event card to begin a new day. That'll get removed from the game. This penalty goes away. And then staying fit, all characters' hunger must be 0. Clear mind is our reward. So Zlata's hunger is now 0. And then presumably this goes out of the game as well. That's what I'll do with that. So now we get to draw 2 narrative action cards and keep those, and keep both. We'll grab the narrative action cards over here. We've got the narrative actions. We'll give these a shuffle. I'll grab Amelia and Merrin off the board since they're now out of the game. This is another quick shuffle and a cut. And we draw 2 narrative action cards and keep them both. So first up for our first narrative action, we find Night Owl. Play at the beginning of the evening phase. Choose 1 character. This character may now perform all of their actions again as if it was the day action phase. After playing this card, remove it from the game. And Like a Mouse. Play during the scavenging phase. Instead of rolling for the noise, set the noise marker to 1. Well, we've got a very bad situation on our hands here. So now that we're in the day phase, so now that we're back into the, actually, we still have to draw and resolve the top card of the events deck. So let's see what event we've got here. We find, actually, oh, I think I see what happened here. Hold on a second. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the chapter 2 objective, but oh well. Yeah, we'll just go with it because I have a feeling our playthrough is going to be over here soon enough. So next up we'll find Rat Infestation, adding 2 cold tokens to the cold space. Discard all green tokens from the storage except for canned food, moonshine, and 100% alcohol. So all green tokens. Looks like we lose cigarettes, sugar, and I think that's it. Looks like the herbs, meds, and chems all stay. So I'll put those back in here. Trying to keep everything somewhat organized. All of that goes in here. Oop. Trying to keep the box somewhat organized here. Cigarettes go in there, go in here. Sugar. Well, I have a feeling I'm going to be sorting everything back into the main boxes soon enough anyway here. All right. So that's all taken care of. And then if during the next dawn phase, you have a deadfall trap with a weight token on it, this trap provides one additional raw food. After you resolve this card, remove it from the game, we also need to add 2 cold tokens. I knew there was another reason I was over here. Yikes, we've got all kinds of problems here, folks. Because we've got Zlata here with 1 action available to her. I'll throw all of these back into the bag. It's very much a catch-22 here of what we do. Because if I try to restore her fatigue, she's still going to have 1 action from the wounds. And if I try to restore her action from I don't have any bandages right now to be able to heal her anyway. So, yeah. This is probably going to be a fairly short video. Which is not necessarily, well, it's not a bad thing, and it is a bad thing. It is a bad thing because we can't solve our problem right now, but it's not a bad thing because I can set up for later this afternoon with Game 4 of the ALDS. But I think for the time being, during the day phase, actually we also add the last night raids to the deck as well. So we'll shuffle the last of the night raids in. But like I said, I have a feeling we're going to be sorting everything out here before too long. So I think the question here now is, do we try to go out and find new characters, or do we sleep in the bed and try to solve the fatigue problem? So we have to decide what we're doing during the day phase here. Because either way, we're only going to have 1 action this round. If I risk going out and getting Zlata hit with 2 more wounds, then we're probably having her epilogue at this point as well. Well, let's see. I think here we are going to have her go outside. I can have her go to bed. I can have her sleep in the evening anyway, so we are going to have her go outside. But before we do that, I need to have her roll a die. I need to have her roll a d10. Because since we're sending her outside, if she rolls a 1, she's going to take 2 wounds. If the number of characters in the group is 2 or less... Okay, so yeah, we're sending her outside. We're going to try to get some new characters, but we've got to roll a black die first. Fortunately, that's a 4, so she doesn't get hit by a sniper, which is what I was worried about. Then we draw and resolve a visitor card, or if the number of characters in the group is 2 or less, which is only the 1 for Zlata, we search the visitor deck for the first arrival card and resolve it. So we'll give the visitor's card. So we'll give the visitor's deck right here a shuffle. All right. And what did we say? We get the first arrival card. Let's see. Dr. Arrival. Here we go. Okay. So here's our first arrival card. A wounded stranger asks for shelter. If you decide to take this person in, draw a character from the unused characters deck and add them to your group. Place a level 2 wounds and a level 1 hunger on them. Add a pistol and an ammo to the storage. Then remove this arrival card from the game. If you decide not to take them in, you may buy any items this person is carrying. See Journal, Trade Sheet, Trade Commission 0. Then shuffle this card back into the visitor's deck. We are going to take this person in, so we're drawing a card. We're drawing an unused card from the character's deck. Actually, we'll shuffle the doctor back in. So we'll give the visitor's deck a quick shuffle. Okay. So there's the visitors shuffled back in. Then we need a character from the unused characters deck. Okay. So here's our character arriving in. Here we find Roman coming in, the deserter. Seems fitting. He's probably deserting from the army. 3 prowess, 3 empathy. Military training. During combat, Roman always rolls the yellow combat die unless he has a better weapon. Spirit. A is a habit. Discard 1 cigarette from storage or raise Roman's misery by 1. If any character in the group on B is wounded at level 3, raise Roman's misery by 1. If Roman is wounded or ill, level 2 or 3, raise his misery by 1. Oh, that's not good. We'll start noting him. And then he comes in, so we need a pistol and an ammo. Let's see, shotgun, assault rifle, hatchet, pistol. Along with, what did we say, 1 ammo coming in? Yes. So a pistol and 1 ammo into storage. But he also needs, I don't know why I dumped the condition, or why I rebagged the condition tokens. He gets, what does he get? 2 wounds and a 1 hunger, which will immediately cut his actions down to 1, so that's not good. Hunger 2, or no, hunger 1. Wounds 2. Okay. Then remove this arrival card from the game. So that'll go into the waste bag. Okay. All right, so that was the 1 action for Zlata. I need to get Roman's mini out, and I'm going to put him in green, I think. All right. Dump the minis out over here. That's not him. Not him. No. 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 I think this is him. All right, so he will join us. And I think we established that when a new character comes in, they don't get to take any actions. That was something I saw earlier when I was looking. So the new character can't act. So action phase. New character can't act because he's added to play since you're already in the 3rd sequence. So it looks like, I'm just looking here, but I wish there was a section on arrivals in the book of scripts. Because that would explain everything a lot more easily. Um, hmm. Yeah, that's not completely clear. Let's see. New character cannot act in the action sequence. So you did 2. Okay, so it looks like actually Roman probably could act here since we are moving into the second action sequence. Unfortunately, Zlata is already out of actions, but Roman could act since we're in the second action sequence and he gets 1 action. I think he is going to... I don't want to send him outside. I mean, trying to rebuild our band wouldn't necessarily be a completely terrible idea. But I can throw Marin and Amelia into the minis bag since they're now out. Although he's wounded as well, so this is just as risky. Yeah, let's go for it. I'm going to risk sending Roman outside during the second action phase. Zlata can't act, and I'm already planning on having her sleep during the evening phase. So let's see what happens with Roman as he's going outside. That's a 2. That was close. Roman doesn't get hit by a sniper. I think he hears the bullet, throws himself flat. Obviously, again, being a deserter, probably deserted from the military, so he's probably used to the bullets flying around. All right, so we get the first arrival once again from the visitors deck, right? Since the number of characters in the group is 2 or less, so whether it's outside or who's coming, whether it's the people going outside or the total in the group. So we're having to rebuild our merry band of misfits is what's going on here. All right, just did a search, and now we'll take the first arrival we see. Not an arrival, not an arrival, arrival. Okay, so we've got an arrival. A grim and silent stranger asks for shelter. If you decide to take this person in, draw a card from the unused characters deck and add them to your group with a level 3 misery token on them. Add a hatchet and jewelry to the storage. Then remove this arrival card from the game. But if we don't take them in, we can buy any items this person is carrying. See journal, trade sheet, trade commission 0. Then shuffle this card back into the visitors deck. We are going to take this person in, so we get another character from the deck. They're going to get a level 3 misery, though. Hatchet and jewelry, so let's see who we find here. We find Marco coming in. Prowess of 2, 5 empathy. Break-in. Marco may use a hatchet to open closed doors as if he was using a lockpick. Spirit A. If any character in the group is hungry, level 3, raise Marco's misery by 1. B or C, if Marco is ill, lower his illness by 1. So we also get a hatchet and jewelry. Where are those? Well, I see the jewelry and the hatchet's right here. Okay. Makes you wonder what might have happened here that Marco's coming in with a hatchet and jewelry. With a misery level 3, we're in the third action sequence now, so Marco, in theory, could act. Actually, Marco, we'll put him in orange. All right, so I saw, yep, hooded, perfect. Okay, so now we've got our third action sequence, which means Roman comes back in. Marco is going to go to this closed door, and he's going to take the hatchet so we can break that door down. Then since he's the only one who can yet act during the day phase, he will get to act. So he will break down the door, which presumably... Oh, we actually get some stuff back here. So he can use the hatchet as if it were a lockpick. So here we find... You get a component and a wood. Add these cards to the storage and remove this card from the game. Okay, that worked very well. So we get a component and a wood. So component, so wood and a component, and then that card gets removed from the game, which I've already sorted that out. Okay, that was the third action sequence, which means the hatchet comes back to storage, and Marco comes back as well. All right, during the dusk phase, each character should drink a water, so everybody will be able to drink water. Which is fortunate there. Unfortunately, however, we can't feed... Actually, I don't think we can feed anybody because we had that rat infestation earlier in the turn. So everybody's hunger goes up by 1. Roman was already hungry, so his hunger now goes up to 2. Marco gets a hunger, and Zlata gets a hunger. We definitely need to go out for food in this mission, or in this night phase. Roman already came in with the hunger, so his goes up to 2. And then since we can't feed Nina, we had to be able to feed her as well. There's a note up there. We have to go to entry 1415, I believe it is, since we can't feed her. 1415, we did that. Must eat as a character. Whenever you don't feed her, roll the black die. We'll bring the dice tower back in shot. And we'll roll the black die. On a 1 to 3, she is completely... did we write down 1648? Of course we didn't. All right, so now we've got to roll the black die. That's a 3, so unfortunately she's completely malnourished, and it will be too late to save her. So now we lose Nina. We cross out 1648 on the save sheet in the epilogue section. Fortunately, I'm using pencil for this. And then we see 661. Not this. Please, God. Anything but this. Roll a black die and compare the result with the empathy of each character. A result that is equal to or lower than a character's empathy means we raise their misery by 2. Uh-oh. So anything that is equal to or lower than a character's empathy. Uh-oh, this is bad. So we've got the black die, which means we have to go through each character. So Zlata has an empathy of an 8. This is problematic. We're probably losing Zlata right here. Unless somehow she survives this. That's a 10, so she does clear that. which is very fortunate for us. Equal to or lower than a character's empathy. Okay. Roman's got an empathy of a 3. He's clear as well. And Marco fails, so his misery goes up to 4 already. That didn't take long. So Marco goes to 208. 1025 for Marco. Broken, Marco lost all hope of ever reaching his wife and daughters. Along with hope, he also lost the will to live. He left them a goodbye letter, but no one passed it on to them. Remove this character from the game. Well, easy come, easy go. So Marco now gets, that's Roman, Marco now gets removed from the game. That didn't take long at all, I have to say. This is going in the waste bag as well. So now we continue to the evening phase, and we have to assign each of our characters to a task during the evening phase. So Marco is now out of the game. He'll go in the waste bag. Well, Zlata, actually we can get the tower out of the way for the time being. Zlata is definitely going to be sleeping in a bed. She's definitely sleeping in our bed. So she will go there. She'll take some night time. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to assign a guard. Actually, we might have to assign a guard. I think we'll assign Roman. I think we will have to assign Roman to guard duty as much as I want to go scavenge. And I will give him the hatchet as a weapon on guard duty. Which will mean Zlata will get to set her fatigue level to 0. Looks like I didn't note fatigue, but yeah, she had a fatigue level of 2. So fatigue level to 0, and Roman is on guard duty. So we're not doing scavenging this time. Night raid. So we skip the scavenging phase, and we go to the night raid. So we've given Roman the hatchet. We have to draw and resolve the top card of the night raids deck. So we'll give this a quick shuffle. All right, there's our night raid card. So let's see what happens here. Here we find reality impact. Something unexpected has happened. Oh, yikes. Draw a card from the colors deck to determine the color of the script. Then reveal the night card, then reveal the top of the card of the night raid's deck and check the card number with that color on it. Find that number in the book of scripts and resolve the corresponding text. Afterwards, shuffle this card back into the night raid's deck. Okay, so we need the colors deck. I'm just going to check my phone real quick because I'm expecting got a delivery order coming in later this morning. Okay. All right, everything looks good there. All right, there's our shuffle, and we'll draw the top card of the colors deck. And here we'll find our color's green. I'll leave that there for the time being so I know what color I'm looking for. Then we need to reveal the top card of the night raid's deck and check the number with that color in it. So our number here is number 471. So let me go to the book of scripts and go to number 471. .471 reads, "We hear a knock at our door. There's one person on the other side. We can see no one else through the window. Let's see who it is and what they want. Search the visitor's deck and resolve the first arrival card you find." Back to the game. All right, so back into the visitor's deck. And now we'll search for the first arrival. Not an arrival, not an arrival, arrival. A malnourished stranger asks for shelter. If you decide to take this person in, draw a card from the unused characters deck and add them to your group. Place a level 3 hunger token on them. Add 3 mechanical parts, meds, and a knife to storage. Then remove this arrival card from the game. If you decide not to take them in, but we are taking them in, yada, yada, yada. So we are taking this person in. They're going to get a level 3 hunger token on them. Yeah. So our character here is Saveda, school headmistress. 0 prowess, 9 empathy. If any character in the group is hungry, level 3, raise her misery by 1. Habit, discard a coffee from the storage or raise her misery by 1. Comforting talk, lower one chosen character's misery by 2. Let's see, Saveda. Not you, not you, not you. This one. And I had my pencil right here. There'll be an orange again. What did I do with the orange? Oh, I threw it back in the bag because I didn't think I was going to need it again. She's got a hunger of 3 coming in. All right, so we'll place her there. Then we get 3 mechanical parts, meds, and a knife. So, excuse me. So we've got the knife. Meds and 3 mechanical parts. We have 3 mechanical parts left. We only have 2, so presumably we're limited by components of what's in the box. We should probably find some way to use those mechanical parts. I'm going to see. But like I said, I am about 99% sure that we're going to be limited by components that are in the group, or by components that are in the box. Means that the item's currently unavailable. Okay, that's what I expected. Color me completely unsurprised. Oop. So we only had the 2 mechanical parts to find. Let's see, we could probably do some crafting on our next turn as well, but that'll be the next time we get this game to the channel. Let's see, what else did we need? Knife, and we need meds as well. Right here. All right, so there are our meds. And then both of these get removed from the game. Okay. And then that card goes back. So this card goes back into the Night Raids deck, as does Reality Impact. So both of those are going to go back into the deck. Okay. All right, so that was a somewhat uneventful night. We picked up a new character in our party in Saveda. And then the dawn phase, we didn't have any scavenging parties returning. Meds, we don't need to assign meds to keep for the ill, and we don't have any bandages to assign, so now we draw a fate card. And I have to admit, with this game, I kind of like having the one turn per video structure, just because it makes everything nice and easy to kind of divide out. Maybe isn't the word, maybe isn't how I want to put it, but it does keep the structure of this playthrough nice and clean. And it keeps the length of the video somewhat under control. Plus, I really like the ability to save this game from session to session. So whenever I put this on the channel, I can always pick it back up from where I was at. And we'll give that a cut, and here's our fate card coming up. Our fate card. Raise the wounds of all unbandaged characters by 1. Oh, geez. So we've got Roman up to, actually, Roman and Zlata are both up to 3 wounds. That's problematic. Because we didn't get bandages to assign. We weren't able to go out and scavenge anything because Zlata needed to restore her fatigue too much. So Zlata and Roman go up to 3 wounds. If cold tokens minus board ups equals 2 or more, raise the illness of 2 chosen characters by 1. Cold right now is 5 minus 0, since we don't have any board ups, is 5. So we raise 2 characters' illness tokens by 1. Raise illness. We'll take Saveda and Roman. I mean, we've got a lot of problems right now. Let's see, illness. All right. Exchange the nearest. Okay. Exchange the nearest small location. Our nearest small location is the abandoned cottage. So now our newest location, we'll give the locations a quick shuffle. All right, so our nearest location is Central Square, open space and rubble. Special findings: 1 to 5 nothing, 6 to 7 shell, 8 chems, 9 to 10 cigarettes. Okay, so that was exchanging that. We don't have any weight tokens. Resolve Spirit B. Let's see, if any character in the group is miserable, 2 are, so Zlata's misery goes up by 1, up to 3. If any character in the group is wounded, guess what? Roman's wounded himself, so his misery goes up by 1. And then do we have coffee to discard for Saveda? We do not, so her misery goes up by 1 as well. Jeez. All right. And then that shuffles back into the fate deck. And I don't think we have a narrative action card that could have slowed any of that carnage down, did we? No, nothing would have helped there. All right, then we draw a narrative action card. We've shuffled these already. Our first narrative action that we can choose from, Rumors. Play at any time. Take a look at the top card from any 2 of the following decks: Events, Visitors, Residents, or Night Raid. And kick the door down. Play during the day actions phase or during the scavenging phase. You automatically open a closed door. We're going to kick the door down. And then that brings us back to a new day. So I'm going to record everything that happened. So I'm going to record everything on my save sheet. Let's see, we lost Nina. All right, let's see, we've got the ruined villa near. Quiet house. And Central Square. Let's see, furniture rubble. This closed door is now open. Nothing else changed there. Let's see, so our new narrative was kick the door down. Let's see. I think that's everything there. So now we need to take inventory. We have got 4 components. We're down to 1 water now, which is problematic. 5 wood. I believe that's going to be, yep, 4 mechanical parts. 1 chems, 2 herbs. No cigarettes, we lost those. We still have the shovel, 3 weapons parts. We do have a pistol and 1 ammo. Shovel, 3 weapons parts, 1 electrical part, a moonshine. We lost our sugar, and we still have a meds. We still have 2 meds now. All right, Zlata is at 3 wounded, 3 misery, and 1 hunger. Roman is all kinds of hurting. 3 wounds, 2 hunger, 1 illness, 1 misery. He's got no actions. Saveda, our school headmistress, comes to us with 3 hunger, 1 illness, and a misery. And that will do it for this session of This War of Mine. As you can see, things went kind of haywire on us in a hurry, as we lost 3 of our characters, and we're in very real danger of losing 2 more the next time we get this to the channel. I really am enjoying this game, believe it or not. I know it's kind of a heavy, depressing game, but I think that's really part of the. I'm searching for the word I want, because appeal. I don't think appeal is necessarily the word I want for this to describe. I'm searching for the word. Like I said, charm isn't necessarily the word I want either, probably. I'm thinking more perspective is probably what I want, because like I've mentioned before, you don't really spotlight a lot of games really don't spotlight the plight of the civilians in a world being torn apart by war, whereas this game does. And I really like having that additional perspective on it. I have a feeling I'm going to end up tearing this one up and I might end up tearing up this replay and starting again pretty soon, but we'll see about that. We're very much up a creek. Well, again, up a creek isn't necessarily the phrase I want. This isn't really a win or lose kind of game. This is a how much can you navigate this, and as you can see, we're not navigating this very well, but I think that's part of the point. I also forgot that we got a hatchet when Marco came in. And if you're able to go for a while in a game like this, you really start to get that attachment to your characters. So when things go haywire on you, you really feel it that much more. But I'm rambling. I definitely like the narrative aspect of this game. So I'm actually very happy I picked this up in the trade with Jester that I made last year. So that'll do it for this playthrough of This War of Mine. Later this afternoon, we'll be moving over to Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Ontario, Canada for Game 4 of the 1985 ALDS and my 1985 replay and season ticket baseball, as the California Angels will be trying to close out the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 4. We will have Mike Witt going for the Angels, and Dave Stieb will be going for the Blue Jays. Wednesday we're playing Twilight Inscription by Fantasy Flight. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will be an afternoon upload as we continue out of the Dungeons & Dragons Flavors of the Multiverse cookbook with the entree, Bothy Steak. Next week, we're going to be doing a third period test on Inside the Crease Hockey. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.